Scientists killed Planet X, and here's what they found. Planet X is finally dead, and this has been confirmed by the pictures taken by scientists and the strange orbit of this mysterious object around the Sun. This mysterious object passes closest to the Sun every 25,000 years. And all our scientific theories and computer simulations suggest that because of this one mysterious object, which was discovered in 2017 and announced in 2025, the existence of Planet 9, which is 10 times larger than Earth, is now in danger. But how? What is hidden in this mysterious object that has endangered the existence of our Planet 9, which has been around for hundreds of years? And the most shocking thing that was found in this entire research was that outside our solar system, we found a force, a monster, that has been applying its gravitational force on the planets at the edge of our solar system since the beginning of the solar system and changing the orbits of our planets. But who is that mysterious monster hidden outside the solar system? And how is all this connected to Planet 9 and this recently discovered mysterious object? We will find the answers to all these questions in today's episode. So hello guys, I am Kaushik, and let's start another new episode. Music. Friends, before we go further in the video, just as you are connected with me on YouTube, I would like you to connect with me on Instagram as well. This is my Instagram user handle. The link is in the description box. Go and follow. On a cold night in 1930, at the Lowell Observatory in Arizona, 24-year-old Clyde Tombaugh sat alone, repeatedly looking at the photographic plates from his telescope. His job was to observe the movements of every tiny bright spot in the photos. This method was used at that time to discover moons and planets in the solar system, and at that time, the whole world was searching for a mysterious planet, Planet X, at the edge of the solar system. A planet about 9 times larger than Earth, which was changing the orbits of Neptune and Uranus, even without being seen. Our entire physics, Newton's laws and mathematical equations, all were proving its existence. But so far, none of our telescopes had seen it. But on February 18th, 1930, something strange happened. After working all night, Clyde saw a small, faint dot at the edge of the solar system, which was slightly moving in 2 different photographic plates. It was neither a star nor a comet, but it was changing its position every time. When Clyde presented this discovery to the scientific community, excitement spread. That object was named Pluto, and in the next few months, it was declared the 9th planet of the solar system. Now Pluto was added to our school books, children considered it a cute little planet, and the whole world thought we had found Planet X. But after a few years, it became clear that Pluto was so small that it could not disturb the orbit of Uranus or Neptune. Pluto was just an icy dwarf, whose mass was not as much as Planet X. So does this mean that a massive super-Earth planet, 9 times larger than Earth, is still hidden somewhere in the solar system? This mystery continued for about 90 years until 3 researchers from Princeton and the Institute for Advanced Study found a hidden dwarf planet in 2017. These scientists, Sihao Cheng, Jiaxuan Li, and Arithras Young, noticed a very strange thing while studying old telescope photos. A faint object that always followed the same path. This object was named 2017 of 201. Although its discovery was in 2017, its announcement was made in 2025. The object, which was detected in telescope images taken between 2011 and 2017, was not clearly visible in the telescope, but its orbit was very shocking. It traveled from 45 astronomical units to 1600 astronomical units at the boundary of the solar system. This meant that when this object last passed by the Sun, humans had not even invented the telescope. This object was perhaps the strangest dwarf planet in the solar system, very ancient, very distant, and very stable. And this stability was bothering scientists. Look, if a massive hidden planet like Planet 9 existed outside the solar system, the orbit of 2017 of 201 would not have remained stable at all. The gravity of Planet 9 would have thrown small dwarf planets like 2017 of 201 out of the solar system or destabilized its orbit. But 2017 of 201 was confidently orbiting. Scientists were confused. Was the stability of 2017 of 201 ending the Planet 9 theory? Now, to solve this confusion, researchers began testing the orbit of 2017 of 201 in computer simulations. But when the results came, scientists became even more confused. 2017 of 201 was not only stable, but its orbit was also tilted in such a strange direction that it did not fit into any planet theory. What was this? If Planet 9 does not exist, how is this dwarf planet stable in such a strange orbit? And if Planet 9 exists, how did the orbit of 2017 of 201 remain so unusual and unique? Scientists now began to consider a third, even more shocking possibility. Is there an unknown gravitational force at the outer edge of the solar system that we cannot see yet? Could it be that outside our solar system, in the deep darkness of the galaxy, an unseen force is silently controlling our entire solar system? This new question suddenly made scientists feel very uncomfortable. Perhaps they had been looking for answers in the wrong place all along. Their search should have been not just for a hidden planet, but for that invisible force that is silently traveling throughout the galaxy, and because of which dwarf planets and icy worlds at the edge of the solar system are quietly orbiting in strange paths. So the mystery of Planet 9 was as strange as it was old. But this was not the first time that the idea of a hidden planet had come up in science and then proven wrong. In the 19th century, a similar situation arose when scientists became very concerned about Mercury's orbit. At that time, scientists also imagined a hidden planet which was named Planet Vulcan. This planet was never found, but its imaginary gravitational effect kept scientists confused for many years. But when Einstein's general theory of relativity came out, it was found that the problem with Mercury's orbit was not due to any hidden planet, but due to a misunderstanding of gravity. Einstein's theory perfectly explained the strange behavior of Mercury's orbit. The hidden planet Vulcan never existed. It was just scientists' imaginations that they created to understand incomplete data. Now the same situation was happening with Planet 9. Because the truth is that sometimes science also gets caught in an illusion where we only see what we want to see, and the theory of Planet 9 is exactly such an illusion. This planet has never been clearly seen in any telescope, but its name became popular everywhere, from physics textbooks to YouTube videos. But how did it start and then prove wrong? So, this whole story begins in the 19th century, after the discovery of Neptune and Uranus. When scientists mathematically simulated the orbits of these planets, they found that their orbits were not as suggested by Newton's and Einstein's theories. After which, mathematicians realized that the orbits of Neptune and Uranus today are only stable if another massive planet like them is applying its gravitational force on them. But as we heard, Pluto was initially considered that planet. But when scientists realized that Pluto was not that massive, the idea became even more popular that a giant planet was hidden at the edge of the solar system. This theory gained even more fuel in the 2000s when several other objects found at the edge of the solar system were studied, because these most distant objects of the solar system, called extreme trans-Neptunian objects, ETNOs, were also orbiting the Sun randomly clustered in a specific direction. This could only happen if a large unseen planet was silently controlling their gravity. They named this unseen planet Planet 9. Scientists' imagination about this planet began to run wild. Computer simulations suggested that this planet could be 5 to 10 times larger than Earth and would orbit at a distance of 200 to 1200 astronomical units from the Sun. Due to this, it would be difficult for any of our telescopes to see it directly. Now excitement grew in the scientific community, and the news headlines had only one question. Are we finally going to find the missing planet of the solar system? Scientists loved the Planet 9 theory because it gave a simple answer to a complex puzzle. But in science, there is also a danger. Whenever a theory is accepted, people tend to ignore contradictory evidence. And this is what happened as more and more new ETNOs were discovered. With each new discovery, that neat orbital pattern began to weaken. The orbit of some new objects was completely different, not clustered in one direction. But even then, the idea of Planet 9 was so strongly set in people's minds that new contradictions were simply ignored. And this is where the downfall of Planet 9 begins. Some astronomers re-examined the data in an unbiased way. They noticed that the initial clustered pattern that appeared was actually due to the limited view of the telescope. This means we were only seeing the objects that were clearly visible within the range of the telescopes and overlooking everything else. And after the discovery of the 2017 of 201 dwarf planet, the ending of the Planet 9 story is now clear, because the orbital path of 2017 of 201 does not seem to be under the influence of any massive gravity. Whereas for Planet 9, our predicted orbit of 200 to 1200 astronomical units passes quite close to it. But despite this, if this dwarf planet is orbiting at the edge of the solar system without showing any gravitational influence, then it is clear that Planet 9 probably never existed in the solar system. Now, another study confirms this, in which, when the orbital calculations of 2017 of 201 were simulated from the formation of the early solar system to its current age, it was also seen that this dwarf planet would never exist if there was another massive planet in this region of the solar system. Because simulations clearly showed that if Planet 9 really existed, it would never allow small dwarf planets like 2017 of 201 to remain stable, and would throw them out of the solar system within a few 100,000 years of the solar system's formation. But then what about Neptune, Uranus, and those trans-Neptunian objects? Why are our mathematical equations failing to explain their orbits? And why is our physics screaming that something is affecting the orbits of these planets with its massive gravitational pull? Now at this point, the scientific community began to divide into two groups. One group of scientists was still insisting that the Planet 9 theory was valid and we just needed more observations. On the other hand, there were researchers Sihao Cheng, Jiaxuan Li, and Aritras Young, who said that if Planet 9 existed, it would be impossible for an object with a stable orbit like 2017 of 201 to exist. But what we actually found out later proved both these scientific communities wrong and provided a new unique explanation for the strange orbits of these planets and the 2017 of 201 solar